Selma's face at the end, priceless. Hey guys, what's up? We're back for another chapter of Shokugeki no Soma. This would be chapter 121, and this chapter, I really did like it because we did get a lot of progression in this chapter. So let's start off by talking about the polls. I briefly mentioned it in my reaction, I think, to Shokugeki no Soma anime, but let's talk about it here. Uh, and I'll go backwards. So number 10, we have Ishiki, who I think is one of the best characters in the series. So I'm very glad for him. Uh, Ikumi comes in at ninth, very very close to Ishiki. Um, I mean Ikumi's okay. I don't really mind her, but I don't really like her specifically. Um, Eighth is Hayama. I think he should be up further because I think Ishiki and Hayama should be up further. I think Hayama is really good, um, especially because of his story uh, with June and the fact that he even beat Soma was great. So number seventh was Shinomiya. I do like Shinomiya, but I don't like him as much as I like Hayama and Ishiki. Number six is Alice. Alice is, in my opinion, the best girl character in this series. She's friggin' hilarious. The faces she makes are awesome. It's just they're like Soma's faces. And I don't know. I really like Alice. She kind of made a 180 where she was like kind of a bitch at first, but then she really just started to develop. Number five is Hisako, who is also not bad. She beat Alice by one vote, which is very interesting. Literally one vote. Um, I like Hisako, not as much as Alice though. Number four was Megumi Tadakoro. Um, Megumi is the second best girl character because in my opinion, she's had the most development of all the girls. Uh, Quite possibly the most development of any character, and she's really come a long way, and I really do enjoy her character. Coming in at third was Takumi. Now this I didn't quite see coming. I figured Takumi would be popular, but that popular? Interesting. I do really like Takumi, so uh, the fact that he's up there is cool. Here we go. Number two, Erina Nakiri. Fucking shit. Japan, you and your fucking tsundere fetish. Get the fuck out of here. I'm just kidding. You guys, Japan showed a lot of support for some of my videos, so I can't hate on you guys too much. But um, at the same time, Erina is not a good character compared to the rest of these people on the list. Not at all. And the fact that she's at number two is disheartening, to say the least. But number one, of course, is our boy, Yukihiro Soma. This guy. Can I just talk about Soma for just a second? Yukihiro Soma is the best character of this series. And the fact that he is the main character makes it all the better. When you have the main character that is also the best character, you really have something going for you because in a lot of shonen series, you have the main character, in fact, sometimes can be unlikable or very hit or miss. Take the big three, for instance. Naruto, can't stand him. Absolutely can't, especially starting from part two on. He's very hit or miss. Some people like him, some people hate him with a passion. Um, Even the secondary main character there, Sasuke, very hit or miss. People, the the West hates Sasuke, the East loves him. So, um, and then, I mean, Luffy is pretty well received for a main character. But Ichigo, on the other hand, is more on the hit or miss side. I like Ichigo, but I do understand why a lot of people don't like him. Um, but in this series, we have Yukihiro Soma, who is by far the most popular, and in my opinion, is objectively the best character. Uh, Granted, he did have somewhat of a sort of a how do you want to say it, a Mary Sue complex going on for a bit, or Gary Stu, whatever. However, I think he's grown out of it, especially losing a few times, getting knocked on his ass. Um, and he's shown so brightly as a main character. Uh, he's really led the way for why I got into the series in the first place. So enough about the polls, except for somebody missing, and that would be Kurokiba. Um, I think Kurokiba should have been up there, but I guess Japan didn't like him so much. I don't know. I'm sure he was very close behind. Um, probably close. He was probably 11th after Ishiki. So, with that said, let's get on into the actual chapter. Um, I know I just went on for a while for polls, but I do think it's important for the fan base to discuss the polls a little bit. So, um, basically, the battle has been decided between Yukihiro Soma and Kuga. I don't remember his other name, but I'm just going to say Kuga. I'm just going to call him that for now. So, um, basically, Ishiki breaks it down in three different ways. There's the main area, there's the central area, and then there's the Mountain View area. The main area has the main street has the most people. However, the central area has like the mix between where the Mountain View is basically the Mountain View is the most expensive. The main street has the most people, but the central is kind of like the mix of both. Now the Chinese research group, because that's led by Kuga, is doing the central. And so ultimately, as you all know, what Soma decides is to go right next to him, right across the street, um, which I really do like because that's Soma's way of innovating a learning experience in the training camp. Because as we know, once again, the reason why he was able to serve so many customers in the training camp was because of Erina being right next to her, um, which I thought was hilarious. How he's just like thanking her profusely for it, and she's like offended by it. But yeah, it was great because he just sat right down next to her, not even realizing she was there, just completely ghosted her. Because nobody ghosts her. That's the thing. And she's just like talking to him, and I was like, "Oh, it's you. I didn't even notice you." It's fucking hilarious. And then he notes that they're sitting together a lot, which is true. So basically, everybody's trying to compete for spots and shit. Um, and the reactions were great to when someone's freaking face, the he's got that face in the catalog for his stand. It's just too funny. Oh my goodness. It's like that carefree look as Kuga said. When I think like in the episode that I just reacted to yesterday, I'm pretty sure he had that same face on his profile. It's just too funny. This is Soma, man. He is the most badass looks, and he has the funniest faces at the same time. Um, Alice has a great facial reaction to Soma, and pretty much all of like the people from the fest, like not the autumn fest. What is it called? The selection. All the higher ups from the selection basically reacted. Hayama, Kurokiba, Takumi, except for Subaru. Um, and Hisako, I don't think she was in on that either. But anyway, the last thing, of course, which I mentioned very beginning, was that Aaron had told him that if you lose more money than you earn, you get expelled, and his face, he just turns white. He's like, oh shit, because his plan could backfire on him very easily. Um, which because his plan initially was, or his in the training camp, it was backfiring at first, and then eventually came to help him. But in this case, it could backfire on him. But there's no turning back, obviously. He's going to do well, obviously, because he's Soma. He has a lot of reputation from the moment he said, I'm going to beat you all and take the number one spot in the entrance uh, ceremony. So his face was great. So that's it, guys. This chapter overall, I thought was very good. It was a very solid setup chapter. Um, we basically have the fight set up, where it's going to take place, um, how it's going to take place. He's going to use Chinese food. How he's going to do, how he's going to compete with Chinese food, I have no fucking clue. But I guess we're going to have to see. Um, so yeah, I mean, thank you all for listening, and we'll see you all next week.